Okay, so like I said, what if it is a gateway?
Like an
Like-
actual gateway.
Yeah, like you're thinking about it. You're high on one reality. This is reality. You're high, and that reality itself is a different reality that you're coming down on. That reality is the actual reality, and when you got high, you came to our natural soberism.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Like I like visualized it whenever you're saying it. And dude, like that tripped me out. I was just like thinking of it as like just like walking and then just going back and walking again and then going back like that. Yeah, you know what I'm.
Mine actually looks like the Michelangelo painting where one's reaching to the other.
Oh, like that.
Like, yeah, and then like the other one's upside down, and it's either you're receiving or you're giving, but at the same time, both are happening because of time itself.
Because of time.
So one's a forward jump in time, and the other one's a reverse. But at the same time, when they connect, they change places, and now one's the future and one's the past. Oh my God. That's another gateway. Think about it.
Dude, is weed a gateway?
I think weed is one gateway, and then physical contact is another.
Okay.
Like, think about it. The moment, as you think about time, as I'm going to touch you, that is time flowing forward. And now once I do touch you, you've thought about it. That's the thought.
Yeah.
So now you're just remembering what you thought. So it's going in reverse.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dude, that's fucking. Dude, I don't know what the fuck.
So that's another gateway.
So
Once you're thinking about time, and once you're thinking about a thought, as you're thinking about it, as you're producing the process of the thought itself, that's time flowing forward. Once you've thought about it, that itself is time flowing backwards because you're remembering it and it's in the past. And now it's ascending. And for every thought, time is... So what if time is really more of a ping pong ball instead of a flowing constant?
it was just like a ping pong ball,
Yeah.
like bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. Like every single time you think, your thought is the present, right? So you're thinking about it, and then when it actually happens, now you're remembering it. So now it's in the past. Because you're remembering it. You're like, I'm having the memory of a thought that I once thought about thinking.
Okay, so like think about this. You know when you're like you just say you're sitting down like in a restaurant and you're observing the room and the people and everything, and you think of a scenario that happens. Say like, someone flips over a chair and starts shooting up the place or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if that is it's like a window almost, a window of thought into another reality.
I'm really not following you on this
Because
one.
look. In another reality, someone did flip the table and start shooting up the place.
Oh, you're talking about like I was talking about before.
Yeah. What are your I was just thinking about it more though.
Yeah.
So like when you think of these scenarios, you're actually seeing it happen.
Yeah, but
in the
really,
other reality.
But like in my opinion, isn't time itself the thinking about a thought, and like as you're perceiving stuff, perceiving it is like pressing play on a movie, but thinking about a thought, isn't a thought really just a pressing pause on a reality that has at one time happened?
Right. Okay, I follow you there.
Okay, so you're like, as you're remembering it, that itself is a thought. but a thought is a paused image. So really, that entire time you were like the middle of it is the thought, and then you're thinking about it, and then once you remember it, it's in the past.
Yes.
So so each and every single thought is itself like you're thinking about it, you're loading the thought, and then you're remembering the thought. So it's in the past. So everything does work like a computer, like a processor.
Okay. So if everything works like a computer,
we could that's more proof, in my opinion, that we could just be computers. not computers like that. Not computers like that. Okay. What I'm talking about is computers like in the way we think. We made computers because they're in our image.
So you're saying a fucking computer is a image of human?
Yes.
Okay, it's like
because like computer, like the thought, like the way you're. Yeah,
we created computers.
So
computing based on the way that we compute.
Exactly, just like car engines.
Yeah.
They work just like the way we work.
Right, like we mechanicalize.
Yes, we are ourselves mechanical beings, in my opinion. Like, in the way we think, we process. We actually are computers, and we designed ourselves a metallic representation of ourselves.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Oh my god, like I was like visualizing that. Like we created ourselves in non-organic matter.
Yes. Because we're not yet to the thought process of being able to perform it in biomechanic, and then we could living form.
Yes.
So wouldn't creating another life like cloning almost be godlike?
It would be.
Because
if we couldn't like necessarily like
wait, hold on. I got a thought. Wouldn't that make us a fourth dimensional creature at that point?
Right. If
we have ascended to making third dimensional creatures.
Yeah. Like I was just thinking that. Like, okay, but like wait, hold on. So say we're able to create.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
The two-dimensional creatures are the material they are made out of.
Yes! That makes so much fucking sense.
We're third dimensional because we're biological. Fourth dimensional is astrological.
Yes.
Because that's our Lord.
So we can because God
created
us. Bio.
Yes, we are bio. They're electronical. And then they make digital thoughts.
Yes.
Boom,
baby. Boom, baby.
This is gonna sound so stupid or so. I'm thinking about putting on my YouTube channel.
Do it. Do it tonight. Put that shit on YouTube.
That's so funny because now if it becomes a video series, I will be like when you play the first video talking about what our ideas, our plans are, and then once they happen, boom, we're remembering.
In your logic, yes. Yes, indeed.
It works with everything. Because it's reality.
Oh, is that what you think is reality?
No, it is.
Okay. So you watch Stranger Things, right?
I am not.
Oh, shit. What if we... No, never mind.
I still love the connection when I made between the robots, the humans were all an extension.
Right. We created computers, so to the computers, we are their god.
But what does that make us? Or do we become a sub-god when we have the potential to make our level of reality? Like
Okay, if God are the fourth dimensional people, then they have a god as well, right? The fifth dimensional.
And what would that be? Would that be the creature controlling time itself?
Right?
I mean, I don't know. But
It would. That's how we understand it.
wait, no. It would be the one that controls perception. Yeah, okay, so think about it. Okay, so you had the astrological god, and then the next one would be the one that controls perception itself, like just reality. And then the one above that, which doesn't make sense, kind of, in a way, but he would be the one that controls movement through time. The progression, the rewind.
Right.
So that would be the last god.
Would be. Okay. And would the last god be the god of all gods? Or is he only the god?
I think he would be the god of all gods because he would be the one that can control. He has well, I guess he wouldn't have evolved to this point because he would have been created. Because he would have to come first to create all these different.
Right. He would be
spider
the
webs.
creator.
Yeah, he would be the overall creator. The one that can control time, can control reality, can control astrology, like just sense, and then biological.
So here's the thought. So as what we create in computers, they exist in our world. So how do we exist like this in the fourth dimensional world? You know what I'm saying?
Well, think about it.
We
Okay.
exist in the fourth dimensional world, but to the fourth dimensional creatures, we are.
What are we? That's what I'm saying. We are like, and that's kind of something that they hint at in like, Men in Black. Remember when they showed the locker door opening? That was. I mean, it could be something like kind of like a fishbowl. Like you have a little castle, and it's like that castle opening up.
Right.
Because that castle represents our locker in which our reality. Okay, I lost myself with that one. I had it, and then I maybe I didn't because I felt like I was starting to not make sense at the end of that part. But I mean, so that's gods and everything. But then this, like, I was touched by the next dimension. In my opinion, that's how my high felt. Like I felt like I had ascended because high is one of the gateways. Remember?
Right.
Just as a recap, what are the gateways? Touch. Thought. High. Touch, thought, high.
Touch, thought, high. Those are the three gateways
that I know, or that I can think of, and they're all in different dimensions too. High is something that we have access here as third dimensional creatures, and it brings us to the fourth dimension. Touch is a fifth dimensional way of getting high, and then the other one, thought, that's a sixth dimensional type of gateway. So that's how we're moving through the different gateways.
So here's the thing too. It's a little different, but like with all these religions we have, even in polytheism, we think of God as one person. But in reality, God is everyone of the fourth dimension.
Would it? I mean, it could be. No, it could be, but it could also be
one
God. It could be as many as it wants, or it could be one God.
No, I'm talking about what we see as God would be a whole of the fourth generation.
Would it though?
Or
Because
not,
hold on,
fourth dimension. The fourth
think about-
dimension.
Think about it like this. A golf ball. It has germs on it, right?
Yeah.
Whoever owns that golf ball is the god of those germs.
Yeah.
He is the owner of that.
So we
ball.
are okay. So,
Or, like I was saying though as well, it could be a group, because a group could also, like, say they have a television show. They are all working together to make this television a reality. So these are all the different people that are making this
Okay,
reality
okay.
a reality.
okay, gotcha.
So it could be as small as one, it could be as many as a million.
But so you, okay? I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, I got you.
But I mean, I feel like that's also why we would never be able to know, because to be able to pierce through the veil so far to be able to see how many of your creators are there, I don't think we, in our dimension, until we have had this enlightenment of a next evolution, will we ever be able to see that far into the next dimension.
Gotcha. Yeah, like you lost me, but
Like, okay, think about it. Like, one day we will come to true enlightenment. So this is what it feels like to be a human between the two enlightenment theories. At one point, we were a third-dimensional creature, and think about it. That's when we were roaming around as creatures. We weren't aware of our reality. We weren't even conscious, barely. I mean, the only thing we thought about was to hunt, kill, stay, survive, and live. So we weren't like, now we are aware of our reality, and we have built stuff upon it. No other creature has become that far evolved to the next evolution. Think about it. They're still beginning as life forms.
yes.
Whereas we've hit an enlightenment phase, so we're midway through our next ascension to the next dimensional being. So the high gets us even further and closer, but one day maybe we will hit this enlightenment and we will be there. And so we
Gotcha.
will be our own astral gods of the next dimension.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah. I follow that.
So these are three different realities that and so wouldn't that just be three, like say the germ evolved enough to be me, then he would have seen 3 or 4 different things. He would be able to start perceiving what it is as the time progressed slowly. He's starting to perceive this, like what we're seeing, and then once he perceives it fully, he will experience it as it is to him.
Right.
That is evolution through dimensions.
Dimensional evolution. Okay, here's a thought too. These people, the first people to think of. Right. The first person to think of something, whatever they thought of, has already existed, right?
That's what I'm saying. Thought dimension gateway.
Because when he thinks of that, he is not actually creating it.
No, he is.
No, he's not.
He is. He's creating a totally new reality that could be.
Okay, so people who think of like.
Thought itself is a gateway. That's what I'm saying. When you think of something, you're creating reality.
When you think of something that does not exist, you create it as a
reality.
Reality. So it's like you're building part of this road that you're.
Every single thing you think, you're building an entirely new potential reality. Every single thought you make, that is the thought gateway.
Got it. Okay.
That's what I was telling you, man.
That's what you were thinking. Okay, because I couldn't understand it like from what you were saying. But I thought of it, and So when you think of something, like, you know how inventors, thought
Yeah.
of these things for the first time.
They created a new reality.
Actually, most inventors are actually not the first person to actually think of the thing.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't matter because they are, again, see, that's an example of them creating a reality because they thought of it and now it is a reality. They are not the ones that built it, but they thought of it and they created that reality within their own perception line.
I can dig that.
But because, like, if they had never thought of it and it never gets made, then that object has never been thought of. Therefore, it's never been a reality. And the moment somebody thinks of it, it immediately becomes a reality.
Yes.
But that may not be one they live out, and that's why it's still coming in the future, or it's a reality, and suddenly that's when that's the reality they made, so now they're following that reality. So every time, so you're creating so many thought realities. That's what I'm saying. It's a gateway.
It's a gateway.
The gateway
Yes.
through dimensions. You have just evolved now into this new reality.
Damn. That'll be the end of it for tonight. With that. Damn. That was crazy. Put that on